Well, hello again, everyone. We are the highest tier potty, your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to another live stream nostalgia episode on the Worldly Podcast, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube as well. I'm Marcus, at Marcus Lee 337 on Twitter, and I'm here to talk WWE Bad Blood 2004 with the Redeemer, Justin from the In Time Wrestling Podcast.
What is good, man? The dynamic duo back at it again.
And we never got bad blood. I'm not singing a Taylor Swift song tonight. No.
Hey, I'm telling you, I swear, Dango's going to be the one to jinx it, and it's going to happen. It's going to be the theme song.
I know it's not. They've been playing that Metro Boomin song every time they show the match card, so I know that's the theme.
I mean, come on. They've done multiple theme songs for a show. Don't be surprised if they just pull it out of nowhere.
Shit, on my showcase, I'm using All My Life by Falling in Reverse and Jelly Roll as my bad blood.
Yes, let's go.
That'd be perfect. Dylan Nipple Mania running wild for him when he heard
Hell yeah, bro.
Favorite rock band outside of I Prevail.
Bro, I don't know what it is. I just came across friggin' Falling in Reverse. Absolute fan right off the bat. Freaking insane.
My cousin met Ronnie Radke in Tennessee over the weekend. That's where she lives.
Shit.
I guess that he did a show in Nashville because that's where she lives. Yep, Brian.
What's good, Chef?
Yeah, Chef, coming on the Worldly Podcast next week when we do our Bad Blood prediction show. So
get it.
Yeah, we're recording this. We're doing it early because I got a busy week ahead, so everything's getting done early.
Yes.
But yeah. All right, so Bad Blood, this was the last one they had 20 years ago, and it's coming back to life. So this was one of the pay-per-views they did for a short time. Remember, it was In Your House in 97, and when they did the brand splits, Raw brought it back as a Raw pay-per-view, which 2004 was one of those years. I always thought Raw dominated SmackDown with the pay-per-views. Raw always had the best pay-per-views. SmackDown, it depends. Yeah. But
Raw had Bad Blood and freaking Armageddon and stuff like that. And
then they gave that to SmackDown. They had Backlash, Vengeance, Unforgiven. But this year, this one was actually decent. You look compared to the Raw pay-per-views they did in 2004. Backlash was maybe their best one. This one was good. Vengeance was okay. Unforgiven was shit. Taboo Tuesday was more shit, which I got a rant about Taboo Tuesday at the end there. But
oh, here we go. I can't wait to hear this rant. I'm always in for a good rant.
But this was special. I mean, especially around this time, I thought best logo for the show, just the blood drop.
Yes.
With Bad Blood in the front. And I love the stage somehow. Here's a 3D artwork of what it usually looked like with the 3 blood drops and the little Titantron. I thought this was neato.
It is. It's a nice set. It's not really too over the top. Just looks simple. Looks good.
Yeah. This little blood drop Titantron, little blood drop deals on the corner made it special. And one thing I'm gonna just break it down now. When it came to Bad Blood, I love this tradition they've done. They've done only 3 in the past. They're bringing it back. And they're keeping it going. It's closing out with a Hell in a Cell match.
Yes.
I think
such a perfect thing.
Bad Blood's the perfect show to host a Hell in a Cell, which that makes you wonder. You think instead of just creating the gimmick pay-per-view, they should have brought Bad Blood back in 2009.
Wow, it's almost like it was that simple, huh, there, WWE?
Yeah, you go 5-year absent with Bad Blood. Yeah, that could have been it right there. You could have brought it back after 5 years. Instead, you waited 20 years.
Yeah, because you all had to put freaking Hell in a Cell in October because, spooky season.
Well, Bad Blood would have been perfect for October instead of fucking Taboo Tuesday. But
this is basically the Fuck Taboo Tuesday episode at this point.
Taboo Tuesday, Cyber Sunday, whatever you want to call it. But this was in the summer, which it was perfect. Summer pay-per-view. I like it. But show kicked off. We get a tag team match. It opened the show. Chris Benoit and Edge versus La Resistance for the World Tag Team Championships of Sylvain Grenier and Rob Conway, or I'm sorry, Robert Conway. First off, Chris Benoit pulling double duty, his first of 2 matches.
Yes.
Teaming with Edge. Then this version of La Resistance, this was not the French guys hating America. These were the Quebecers hating Canada, or one Quebecer and one American who was portraying a Canadian sympathizer, because Rob Conway is originally from Kentucky. But I forgot this version of La Resistance. I've always remembered. I remember the French, like with Rene Dupree and Sylvain Grenier coming out with the France flag, or coming out with Fifi, shit talking America,
and then teaming up with Kenzo Suzuki out of nowhere.
And then this time they're waving the Quebec flag. It says Canadians hating on America, which I thought was funny. It would have been a tag team match of Canadians if Rob Conway was originally Canadian.
It's really so weird if they were chanting USA during this match.
Yeah, because you had 2 Canadians fighting, a Canadian and a Canadian wannabe. So,
a Canadian wannabe.
You know who? Shit. That you know they should bring La Resistance back. You got 2 guys from Quebec that can make it happen. Like, you imagine Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Ooh, interesting. To make it work.
And Sami Zayn wouldn't know what he wanted to be. Does he want to be Canadian? Does he want to be Siberian? I don't know what the hell he wants to be. He might as well go join the League of Nations.
Oh God, I just can't stop. I can't think about freaking La Resistance and not think about that time during the Royal Rumble where I can't remember if it was Sylvain or Rene Dupree that gets eliminated and JR just goes au revoir, and I'm like, that's hysterical.
Rene Dupree.
That's fucking hysterical. Every time I hear that line.
I'll tell you what's hysterical. Every time Sylvain wants to sing "Oh Canada," and they're just booing the shit out of him. Because of him, I've actually memorized that national anthem. Like, I only knew ours, but like every week on Raw, like when they come out, like I've learned majority of it. And when I get bored, I'll just be like, "Oh Canada." That's all. At least
you know it, because I don't really.
That's it.
You know it, and then you're just like, I only know the first like 2 words.
Yeah, because it mainly would cut off right there. So it's like, "Oh Canada," theme song hits.
Yeah, right.
And now, crazy story. Benoit and Edge, before this night came, they were the tag team champions together. The night after Backlash, when it was in Benoit's hometown, the pay-per-view. The next night, Raw was in Calgary, and Edge and Benoit won the World Tag Team titles from Evolution. So Benoit was a double champion for 42 days before Monday Night Raw. On Memorial Day in Montreal, they lost the titles to La Resistance.
See, I don't remember most of that stuff. It's like, if I had been like, I probably would have, but because I remember seeing all that kind of stuff. But then it was like, nowadays, my brain is just like, nope.
I tell you what, I don't remember what day it was, but I remember sometime in May of 2004, I went to a Raw house show. They did a house show down here. And that's when Benoit and Edge were the tag champs. Benoit was a double champ. They were advertising on the billboard. The main event was going to be Edge and Benoit against Batista and Ric Flair for the tag titles. So we were excited about it. Me and my brother and my dad went to the show. Now, supposedly Batista suffered an injury where he was off camera for a short time at the beginning of the summer. And we didn't know about it. I think it happened the week before. We went to that house show, and I remember the show kicked off with Orton and Shelton in a house show match for the IC title. And after Orton beat him and took him down, Edge came in the aid of Shelton, and then Ric Flair came out of nowhere and beat down Edge. And I remember at the beginning of the show, Coach told Orton to tell Flair, hey, he needs to find a partner to replace Batista or his match is off. Well, after he beat him down, Flair said, oh, you can tell your buddy Benoit I found a tag team partner for tonight. My tag team partner is the legend killer Randy Orton. So Orton pulled double duty at that house show. He opened the show defending his IC title, and then he main evented teaming with Flair against Benoit and Edge. Benoit and Edge won the match. Benoit made Flair tap out to the crossface. While he did that, Randy Orton slid in the ring. Like, it came out of nowhere. Randy Orton slid in the ring with, I think it was one of the tag belts, or it might have been the Big O belt. He goes to hit Benoit while he had the crossface applied, and out of nowhere, Edge came out the corner and speared the fuck out of Randy Orton.
Damn, what a finish.
And Flair tapped out.
Nice.
And then Edge made a promise. He said, I got a promise for everybody in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're going to make sure you tap out too. And Benoit locked Orton in a crossface. And then he finally tapped out. And then house show was over. Lights came on. Everybody went home happy.
Nice. Sounds like a fun show, actually.
I think, yeah. Saw a couple of unique matches that happened either at that pay-per-view or the following pay-per-view at Vengeance. So it was cool. That was like 20 years ago. The only thing I can remember, Triple H was not there. Nor was Shawn Michaels.
Was he ever at freaking house shows, though?
Around that time, no. Neither was Shawn. Shawn wasn't there either, so.
He also hated working Tuesdays, according to Paul Heyman.
Yeah. This was a Saturday house show.
Okay, so he hated the weekends, too.
Well, it was an exciting way to start off the show. I mean, the La Resistance gained early advantage, and then Edge got rammed into the security wall back first, courtesy of Rob Conway. Well, later in the match, Benoit applies the crippler crossface. I think it was on Savon Grenier,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
Kane's pyro hits, no music. And then Kane comes out and he big boots Benoit. Referee calls for the bell. Benoit Edge win the match by disqualification. Don't win the tag titles back. And choke slams Edge, takes him out, hurts his back, and choke slams Benoit. And Benoit got his shoulder hurt because he was just like,
the noises he was making was killing me.
Like, is that what a Wolverine?
He kept holding his ribs, though. I was like, damn, did he fuck his ribs up? But I was just listening to him making those noises. I was laughing the whole time. I also laughed at the fact that Kane had no music when his pyro went off. I was like, is that a fuck up? Or did they just be like, nah, we'll just play the pyro. It's fine.
Maybe it was a fuck up and Kane was just like, somebody's getting kicked in the face now.
Right. I'm pissed. You didn't play my freaking slow chemical. I need to kick somebody.
Yeah. So maybe it was his ribs. I thought maybe it was the shoulder he got hurt. Maybe it was the ribs.
No, he was like holding his side the whole time. And then he just kept making his noises. And I'm like, is fucking Benoit about to go full Peter Griffin and just go, I would have died.
That would have been funny as hell. Well, we go backstage. Jonathan Coachman's getting prepped for his match with Eugene, talking with Bischoff. And that night, Coach became my favorite person in the world after that night. Because they were in Columbus, Ohio. Fuck Ohio State. He had on all Michigan Wolverine gear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is true heel. Fuck him. I love it. That would be like doing a pay-per-view in Austin, Texas, and you're wearing Oklahoma Sooner gear or wearing Texas A&M gear, or maybe going to Miami and wearing Florida Gator gear or Florida State gear or whatever. Shit like that. Or is Ohio State, Michigan? Well, I say they hate each other. It's real hate.
Okay. Well, shit.
Michigan, Ohio State is as big as the Yankees and the Red Sox, or as big as the Celtics. As big as the Celtics and the Lakers.
Shit.
It's another big rivalry. Dodgers Giants. It's another big rivalry. It's one of the biggest. It's bigger than Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's bigger than Celtic and Rangers. It's Michigan, Ohio State. They fucking hate each other. And Jonathan Coachman wearing Michigan Wolverine gear made my fucking day when I watched that show.
That's good, Dylan.
They shit talking Eugene, saying, put him out of his misery. Get it done. Well, then next thing you know, Coach Slight. So he walks up. Eugene was in the corner listening the whole time. And Eugene, we've talked about Eugene before, which I got more about it. And he's like, no, Eugene, he goes, I'm here to protect you. I don't want you to go out there and get hurt. Like, remember who's your favorite wrestler? And he said, That was a funny segment with The Rock. Triple H. He said, "Your favorite wrestler, Triple H. Remember in 2001, he tore his quadricep and he was out for 8 to 9 months. I don't want that to happen to you, Eugene."
Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
And he's like, "Oh, and your new best friend Chris Benoit. Remember that same year, he broke his neck and he was out for over a year. I don't want you to break your neck, Eugene."
Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
It was lying through his teeth the whole fucking time.
And it's lying through his now gray hair.
And then he goes, "You got two options, Eugene. Say we can call it off. You can get on a plane, take all your wrestling toys, all your autograph stuff, and fly back home, or you can go out there and wrestle." And I want to wrestle. And like, Jesus Christ.
I just love Bischoff for that whole entire segment. Just how he's like sitting there talking to Coach and just going like, "I want you to go out there and I want you to hurt him. I want you to maim him, everything else." And all of a sudden Eugene just walks up and he's just like, "Oh, how much of that did you hear, huh? Sorry, I didn't mean any of that." And I'm like, yep, there's Bischoff being an absolute prick as always.
Next up, we get Chris Jericho versus Tyson Tomko. I think if it wasn't for Christian getting hurt, we probably would have had another match with Jericho and Christian.
More than likely.
All fighting over Trish. And Christian was the one that brought Tomko in, the problem solver. What happened to Christian, by the way? I don't remember what was the injury, and he was out till about 2000, the end of 04, early 05, he came back.
I want to say it was a shoulder injury, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Oh, let's talk about Tyson Tomko, which I think it was Christian that brought him in, not Trish. Mm-hmm. He was Christian's problem solver. A wasted talent?
I don't really know, because to be honest with you, I don't remember much from Tomko to begin with, so I can't even say he was wasted. He just didn't do anything.
He was basically like a bodyguard for Trish. It's the problem. Christian's problem solver did all his dirty work to have him score wins. But I know he never won a championship in WWE, but his career did go up in TNA. He won the tag titles. I thought he had more than one reign with AJ, but no, he only had one reign. Title. That's his only championship he ever won in TNA.
I mean, he's teaming with AJ. Anything can happen when you're with AJ Styles.
Well, a couple of weeks prior, Tomko powerbombed Jericho through the announce table. That led to this match. And now he's got Trish basically being her problem solver.
It's got to be somebody's problem solver. If the actual person he's got to solve problems for isn't there to solve problems for, he's got to solve someone's problems.
I could have been the problem solver for this. Jericho, Trish, don't want you no more. Move on.
It's like Dr. Phil over here.
And I remember doing that pay-per-view with Dylan and Jordan, Armageddon 03, about the $1 Canadian bet about I'd sleep with Trish before you sleep with Lita. Led to the battle of the sexes, and then led to this freaking love triangle at WrestleMania 20.
So weird. Now that's what started this whole thing.
But this match was decent. There was a lot of back and forth counter reverses. Jericho attempted the lion salt. Tomko rolled out of the way, but Jericho winning the match with an enziguri.
After Tomko ran into Trish.
Oh yeah, and Trish. I thought Trish was done there. Wasn't gonna make it 100% in that match later that night, but no.
Right. I was just surprised. It's just because Jericho, we've always remembered seeing him win matches with Walls of Jericho at this time, or he was even winning matches with the Lion Salt. And it was just like, oh, Tomko is apparently the one that he can win with an enziguri with. And I'm like, that's sudden.
He got it done. Jericho got the win. Then he finally moved on from that and went on to feud with Batista, who made a return from his short injury later. went after, then went back to feud with Christian again. That's when Christian came back. He came back in September because they fought at Unforgiven for the IC title.
Yep.
So that's when he came back. Forgot. Shit. Now it's all coming back to me.
It's all coming back to him now.
Well, then we go to this next match. We get Randy Orton versus Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, Shelton, we've talked about Shelton's like first few months on Raw when they broke up the world's greatest tag team. You know, his debut match on Raw, he beat Triple H. He pinned him. Second match, he beat him by a count out. He beat Ric Flair in his first pay-per-view singles match. He had a nice little streak going. It's like he was taking out Evolution one at a time till he got to Batista. You know, one night on Raw, he teamed up with I think it was Jericho. They beat Evolution in a tag match. He pinned Randy Orton.
Yep.
Then the following week on Raw, he fought Randy Orton again. I think it was a non-title match. And he beat Randy Orton. He pinned him again till he got to Batista. And then it's like, get to the animal. That's it. Then he took his first loss on the Raw roster against Batista, courtesy of Randy Orton. So it's like,
it's just crazy that out of all that during feuding with Evolution, the one that he can't beat is Batista, but he can beat Triple H, Mr. Golden Sledgehammer himself.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
That's pretty damn certain there.
I can believe if you can't beat Triple H because he's the game, he's one of the all-time best. I can believe that if you can beat Flair and Orton and Batista, but Triple H, yeah, but he beat Triple H first.
Yeah, being that you look at that whole entire Evolution thing and it'd be like, okay, it's Flair at his age. You could probably get a win out of him. Orton, he's the young guy. If you get a win over him while he's champ, that's perfect. Even like the time with Batista, this is still young Batista. You would have figured like a surprise win over Batista would have been the thing. Hunter would have been the problem, but they just were like, oh, we just got to make Batista look like super strong. So I guess he's the only one that you can't beat.
Well, Orton is getting interviewed. Fucking Todd Grisham, folks.
Jesus.
Then he was talking about, like, it's funny, while he was trying to do his interview, everybody's booing so bad in the background, and he's getting like pissed off, and he just like didn't even do his entrance. He walks through and he's like, "You're looking at greatness. I'm better than all of you." Whatever. I'm waiting for him to bring up like an Ohio State joke or bring up a Columbus Blue Jacket joke. Nothing. He just keeps repeating himself like, I'm 24 years old. I'm the youngest I don't know if he was the youngest IC champ, but he was like, I'm a third generation superstar. I'm 24 years old. I'm going into my 7th month as Intercontinental Champion. Shelton just, he's like lightning in a bottle. Like he's had pure luck. Like Kiss keeps going and going.
Yeah, he just kept going, but that was the best part about it. Like he didn't give a shit about the crowd booing him. He just kept going. He's like, I don't care if they're listening or not. I'm just gonna get my point across. And I'm like, fucking great heel work there.
They're supposed to have a match later in the show. Well, Shelton come out. He's like, you're in your ring gear. I'm in mine. Why don't we have it right now? The referee come out. What's up, Taylor? But we thought it was about to be over there. He put a roll up, but he kicked out. Like, that'd have been some shit if he'd have beat him with a roll up just like that.
I know. I almost thought he did too, because that was a damn close near fall.
Yeah. Well, they're going back and forth. They're fighting like around the crowd, fighting ringside near the barricade. At one point, Ric Flair come out, and then I'm thinking the referee's about to call for the bell, but I don't think Flair even touched him. But Shelton beating his ass, T-bone suplex Flair. I loved when he had Flair in the figure 4, and he pinned Randy Orton while in the figure 4, but Orton kicked out.
That's a cool fucking spot. That was like that whole thing with Charlotte, and Io and or with Charlotte and Bianca, and how like Bianca had that sneak roll up while Charlotte had her in the figure 8. It was like, damn, that's a fucking cool spot still.
I'll tell you what I thought happened, but never happened. I didn't see 1 hour KO in this match.
No, surprisingly.
Shelton like goes off the top rope to do like a crossbody, and Orton like reversed it into like a roll up, and he grabbed the tights, and that's how he retained his championship.
It was a damn good match, though. Like, young
Yeah.
Randy, Shelton Benjamin's fantastic. Like, they made Shelton look damn good, especially the way he was just like overcoming everything. It was like Flair gets involved, he's taking out Flair. Randy tries to take advantage, he's still taking out Randy. Then he's taking out both. I'm like, Shelton fucking rules, dude.
Ain't no stopping me. No, I love this
Yeah.
theme song.
That's the good theme song right there, the one he has here.
Well, I thought they used him right. I mean, I knew he wasn't like a world champion material. He had multiple Intercontinental Championship reigns, but I felt like they kind of shit him down when he went to ECW and started the gold standard, Shelton Benjamin.
I mean, he got a U.S. title round out of that, so.
Then they bleach blonde his hair, looking like Cisco or something in ECW. I said, well, if you're going to put him in ECW, you might as well put the ECW title on him, but they didn't even do that.
I remember they tried to. They were about to, I thought, at one point, because they were really building him up big time on ECW.
Hell, they even used him right on SmackDown. He had a couple of U.S. title reigns as well. I think he had like one or two reigns.
Basically, Shelton hit his ceiling. It was basically in his ceiling right there. As soon as he won the U.S. title, they were like, all right, he's won the IC, he's won the tag, he's won the U.S. They're like, all right, that's about enough. There's his ceiling.
Yep.
That sucks because he's damn good.
And then they really shit him down when they brought him back for the Hurt Business a couple years ago.
That was really good too. Like, that Hurt Business Shelton was fantastic, especially like even him teaming with Gable was awesome. Like, it's just, he's never really been seen as a world champion. That was it.
Well, next, before we're getting ready for this next match, Lita's backstage preparing, and Matt Hardy comes in there to like gives her like a good luck makeout session.
Oh yeah.
Or Eric Bischoff comes in with a bunch of security of fucking Ohio's finest folks, and comes in. He's like, "Oh, this is a private locker room, and you shouldn't be in here." And by order of Eric Bischoff, and then he's like, "And plus, I don't want to see you try to get involved and cost Kane the World Heavyweight Championship, because Kane had a fucking obsession with Lita." I got more about that later.
Yep.
He said, "I'm going to have you escorted out of the arena." Then he's like, "Oh, no, I'm staying for my girlfriend's match." The fuck you ain't? The fuck you ain't?
Eric Bischoff calls bullshit on that one there, Matt Hardy.
And then he said, "I'll give you 60 seconds. Don't make me wait long." And he gave her a good luck kiss, and then he walked out and got kicked out of the venue.
Man, it always seems like it's always just any moment that WWE could ever shit on Matt Hardy by himself, they just shit on him.
Well, this was also the time they were feuding with Kane. That led to Kane fucking sexually assaulting Lita, getting her pregnant.
Yeah.
And then the semen test said it was Kane's and it wasn't Matt's. That was funny. Like, there's just like Kane in a dark room. You can see barely shadows of his face, and he's like, "Oh, and that baby, it isn't yours. It's mine."
Kane's laugh.
Like, oh shit, she got the big red machine all right in her.
Oh, the devil's favorite demon, huh?
Yeah, so Kane had Katie Vick and Amy Dumas.
All right. Well, Kane, you're lucky in one of them.
That led to like, but also this went long after till what Matt Hardy got released from the company, but they were trying to push Matt to like that big single star. He had a nice little rivalry with Kane. He had a victory over Kane at Vengeance that led him to the fucking till death do us part match at SummerSlam.
Oh, that's a whole debacle in its own freaking right.
Where the winner got to marry Lita, and Kane in a white tux. Never thought I'd see Kane wear white, especially after Labor Day.
Right? How much sense does that make? Kane wearing white.
And Lita in a black dress.
Yeah. Someone didn't color coordinate correctly.
Yeah. Well, but it led Kane to soon being a babyface with fucking Snitsky Kane.
It wasn't his fault, though.
No, it was fucking Vince McMahon's fault.
You damn right.
Well, we get this fatal 4-way match. We get Trish Stratus, Gail Kim, Lita, and Victoria in a fatal 4-way for the women's championship. Trish come out with Tomko. Tomko looked like he didn't break a sweat because he had a match with Jericho. I don't even know how long that match lasted, but he didn't break a sweat. And I laughed hysterically. You know, JR and King are always together. King's like, "Oh my God, you see those lips puckering on Trish?" He says, "You mean Tyson Tomko?"
I always love when JR just shuts down King and his fucking creepy advances.
Yep. Gail Kim, which one in WWE she was Korean, but in TNA she's Canadian. So it's another one.
Take your pick, guys. Which one is it?
She's Canadian. No, she originally from Toronto, but
love Gail Kim though.
I was gonna say, were you a fan of her? I was a big fan of her in TNA, but WWE.
Yeah, her TNA stuff is always going to be, you know, absolute god tier shit. But it's like, I there was something about her WWE wise, like you see, like the little bit that we actually saw from her, it was fine. Like you could tell was one of those ones in the entire women's division there at the time that just stood out as, you know, she's one of those that can actually go in the ring. She was in there with like that category, like Victoria and Trish at the time, and Lita still.
You think they went too far with her or tried to overpush her by example, having her win the women's title on her debut night?
I don't think so. Because honestly, I think she did a solid job with what she had in that situation. It's just, I think they saw something in her. It just didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
Wasn't that her only reign?
Yes, that's her only WWE Women's title run.
Wow, and it didn't last long either.
No, it sucks because it was just like I said, it just felt like they were locked in on her, and then something just they didn't want to keep going with it from there.
Yeah, so something was, and then Victoria, which 1 minute she started out as that psychotic woman that came out with Stevie Richards, came out to tattoos, song, all things she said. Then she kind of tried to get into this sexy vibe, and then that's when she had her new theme song with Lil Kim. I ain't the lady to mess with. Woo! Go.
Love that song.
Which then she started trying to be like Sexy Red or something, like start trying to twerk and everything.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So
why we got to compare it to fucking Sexy Red of all fucking people?
Well, that ain't Gene Snitsky's fault. That's Shawn Michaels' fault.
Oh, we know.
And
damn it, Shawn.
We're fucking getting her back when NXT goes to St. Louis.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad. I can't even imagine what the fuck nonsense they're gonna have happening. They're probably gonna have Shawn and her twerking on camera this time.
Shawn gonna twerk like Zeb Coulter did at Survivor Series.
I don't ever want to hear the thought of Zeb Coulter twerking.
He's gonna twerk, fuck his back up, then he's gonna definitely lose his smile again. I don't know, Hunter. I tried to put my back into it, and I just can't do it. Oh, shout out to that.
He'll have to give Shawn some Yeet workout tapes.
Shout out to that WWE super fan on Twitter that does those voice impersonations. Like Shawn, he does the best one. He does Shawn, Shawn, Randy Orton, Stone Cold, Paul Heyman, JR. He does all, and Santino Marella. He does all them so good. Fucking
John Cena.
He did a special video as Armando Estrada, and it sounded just like him.
That's good.
I wish I remember his fucking name, but
damn, you gotta find that and tell and show me that because I gotta fucking see that.
Oh yeah, you know what? I bet you I can find him. I sent most of his videos to Freddie, so I'm gonna go look in our like messages. I've sent him. His name is Anthony Malherbe.
Okay.
He's actually like a radio show host, and he's also a comedian, so he can he's a content creator as well. Follow Anthony Malherbe, Malerba. But his Facebook name says Intern Anthony, so he does most of his videos. He's impersonating WWE superstars, where he can say, this is what WWE superstars sound like if WWE was rated PG, rated G, or this is what WWE superstars sound like if they wanted to go get fast food or whatever. He's also done. He's done Undertaker. He's also done Kane. He's done Roman Reigns, but he always gets requests to do Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman. He'll even make his face look like he's got whatever the fuck it is, palsy. He makes his face look like that, and he talks just like Jim Ross. It's fucking
Oh my god, that's amazing.
like be sure to follow Anthony Mallerbo on Instagram. He is the fucking man. But I watched this video so much I can like impersonate Shawn Michaels' voice. All right. I thought it was a debate on this match or Eugene and Coach for worst match of the night. I said this one, but it went by so quick. Like it was like maybe the quickest match on the card. Tomko got ejected from ringside after he pulled Lita off the pin. Pulled her out of the ring. Mike Chioda fucking ejected Tomko out of the arena. They were double teaming Gail Kim one point, then double teaming Lita. Trish got the win though. Trish won with a roll up. She got rolled up. She rolled up Lita, and she set a record. Became the only woman to be a 5-time WWE Women's Champion.
You want to know what's weird? I know you said you just put this one as probably the worst of the night. Honestly, I enjoyed this. Like for the women's division at the time, I thought this was honestly solid from all 4 women. Like it was like maybe one little botch that happened, and that was that whole like spot where Lita and like Gail Kim were supposed to like, I guess, run into each other, and it didn't happen. And I was just like, oh, okay, that happened. But other than that, like I thought all 4 were doing a solid job. Like it's just like I felt like the ending was just kind of like the dud because it just felt like Trish wasn't even in the match the entire time. And then she just showed up, won the match, and it was over. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, like it could have been a better match than what it was.
Oh, more than likely. But at the time for the women's division, I think it was solid.
So then we move on to Eugene versus Jonathan Coachman. And this got started when Eric Bischoff brought in Eugene to Regal. Like, I want you to manage a new wrestler. He's a special talent. When he meant special, meaning he was mentally challenged, which we know Eugene in real life is not mentally challenged. That was just a horrific gimmick created by the devil himself, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I will give Nick Dinsmore his props, though, for sticking to the character, though.
Oh, he sold it. Like, I literally thought the guy was special. But
it felt like it was legit until he, like, it's just the way he portrayed the character. He freaking nailed it to the point where everyone was like, he might actually be. And then it just came out that it was just like, no, it's just his character. He's just that good at doing. I'm like, wow, damn.
We wanted to try and get him on the World Elite for an interview, but he was charging an arm and a leg. But
damn.
We've heard it. We have heard an interview. I think it was on Talk is Jericho or maybe another show where they brought up saying that he has gotten backlash before portraying a special needs person, and he even had fans like chanting the word retarded. Like he got called retarded by the fans, especially at that ECW One Night Stand when he did that.
Oh yeah,
you heard it really loud. You heard a "he's retarded" chant so fucking loud.
It's so weird because it's like you look at it and you go, it feels like that was to be expected. Like there was going to be some kind of shit from people that was going to result in that kind of those like absolutely absurd chants. But damn, when it was good, when it was like him basically getting cheers from everybody, it was like he was nailing the character to where people were really liking him. But then it was like people just got tired of the character and then they just went way too far with it.
I think if they'd have tried to make Eugene a heel, that'd have probably boosted it up. Like, but he was a babyface. I mean,
they tried it too, and it just didn't work.
Mm. They even changed.
You can't turn that character heel. How do you turn that heel?
They changed his. They tried to change his ring gear where he kind of looked like a superhero, like Nacho Libre style, where he had like a full singlet whatever, look something like a
Yeah.
superhero, but that didn't work out. They changed his ring gear, didn't work. They shaved his head, gave him a haircut, didn't work out. They tried to change the way his hair looked. Nothing. You're not gonna change the Eugene character.
Yeah.
Now
Everyone was just at the point where they were done with it.
Hell, they changed the theme song like a year later, but this one they had, I don't know. I thought I was about to go to the circus or something when the song he had the first time. But he was loved like the traditional ring gear, the inside out jacket with the "Hello, my name is Eugene" pinned on it. You read it, it's backwards, like that note from the Little Rascals. Everything written backwards.
The E's look like Eminem's E's when they're backwards.
Fucking right, yeah. I did not think of that. Hell yeah. Then he started making friends, like guys like The Rock or Chris Benoit being his friend, beating up bullies like Jonathan Coachman. That night in San Diego, that was one of the best moments with The Rock. Help being Eugene's friend, calling Coach a popcorn fart, and beating the shit out of Jonathan Coachman, and even Eugene adopting the people's elbow in the rock bottom.
I saw that fucking sign in the crowd too, where it said "Coach is a popcorn fart," and I went, "What the fuck is that sign?"
Rock called him a popcorn fart one night on Raw.
That's so fucking funny.
And then for weeks, when Coach would come out, they would chant "popcorn fart."
Oh my god!
Fucking only Dwayne Johnson would come up with shit.
Of course, he comes up with the fucking stupidest shit ever, but it sticks.
I know he didn't come up with this, but I'm not trying to bully people, or especially if they have any issues. But I had a fucking ginger kid fucking egg me in the head one time out of nowhere because he was a little bully. And this is a fucking kid, a fucking 12-year-old. I was talking with his parents. We visited with his parents, and he just come with an egg and cracked it over my head. Going down my hair. His parents got mad, but what I said, I actually broke his parents down and laughed. They laughed hysterically. I called him. You want to know what I called him?
Tell me you called him a popcorn fart.
I called him a ginger pussy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
I thought his dad was crying.
Wow.
They said that's fucking good. I'm calling him that when he
wow. Even the parents like laughed at that. That is unreal.
Yeah, we're going to hell. Well, we're already in. I'm already in hell. This fucking country is as hell as it can get.
It's like I always say. Apparently, I hear all the time. Hell is better anyway. So.
This to me, this is what hell looks like with all the gun violence and bullying and
it's no fucking pure and utter chaos every day.
No respect to people and gas prices too fucking high.
Oh my god.
That's to me, that's what hell is. Bullying, disrespect, and high gas prices.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Oh. Coach, I figured, was in hell when he came out in Michigan Wolverine gear at the home of Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio. I'm surprised Coach never got killed trying to leave the building because
oh my god!
I said that's one place you never want to wear that blue, that Michigan M, that blue and gold. You never want to wear that in Columbus. And Coach did not give a shit.
Oh man,
he was my hero that day. Because I said it once, and I say it again. Fuck Ohio State. Thank you for Joe Burrow, though.
Right.
Well,
I got to give Coach props, though. The guy he knows how to play his part very, very well.
Well, it was nice to finally not see him in that Texas Longhorn jersey too.
Oh God, that's right.
But I mean, Coach as a Hill was genius. He
always,
always like that backstage announcer, and then they put him in storylines as Bischoff's little assistant. And One time he was running the show. I remember the time when he ran Raw for like a short time.
I still remember the part when he was feuding with Batista and he had brought in fucking Goldust and Vader.
And somebody else. You brought like
What
three.
the fuck?
You brought three legends. You brought three legends in.
I thought it was only 2.
What was his title when he was running Raw? He wasn't a general manager or a commissioner.
Oh, God.
Not chief of staff. That was Val Venus. Fuck.
Yeah, that's good old Chief Morley.
Was it? No, he wasn't his caddy. I don't know what the fuck he was to Bischoff.
I don't remember what he was. He just felt like he was like the assistant to GM, and that was like about it.
What was his best theme song? The one he had here, or it's like dum 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 dum, like something you'd hear like in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or the one from Reckless Intent.
Oh, it's the one from Reckless Intent. That song is incredible. Like I thought they when he came out, I thought it was going to be like, I thought they dubbed it in and they just put the fucking song on there, but then it came out to that, and I was like, oh, you let me down, WWE.
I don't know. I love, well, that's that one he had that song first before he had Hard Hitting by Homeboy.
Mm-hmm. Shouts to Homeboy.
Homeboy, hard hit, back breaking, everybody out there seats.
Yep, good song.
When I hear that song now, I think Kyle's video he did. Shout out to Kyle from the Apron Butt podcast.
Yes.
Fucking great shit. And, well, this match, they said this was the worst match of the night. Meltzer gave it 0 stars. Of course he would. But I thought it was entertaining. Like, Coach wanted to shake his hand and Eugene arm dragged him. Eugene started mocking, like he mocked Junkyard Dog, doing the headbutts, doing the fake dog, pissing on the high fire hydrant.
It was entertaining. You're right. It is entertaining. It's all it was. And it was like, you know what? And that's why I don't think I hate this one either. So I can't really hate it.
What I don't remember one point. Eugene was like rolled up like a ball, and Coach would roll him and he'd get mad. I'd be dizzy trying to do that shit.
It was like the Paradise Lock thing that you see today, and it was like he did the reverse version of that, and then like fucking Coach is rolling him around, and I'm like, oh my god, we're just rolling Eugene around like a ball, and then he like reaches up with his hand in that friggin' thing just to toss Coach, and I'm like, wow, that's inventive.
Another arm drag, by the way. Yeah,
that was inventive as shit, though. I love it.
Dude, Coach needs to learn how to practice hitting the ropes. He almost had a botch. You saw his neck hit the top rope when he was.
Yeah, that was scary.
Oh, he could have broke his neck there. But
I love that moment though when Eugene rolls out and Coach is just running the ropes the whole time, and I'm just like, is he gonna stop?
Yeah, while he's getting like a stuffed animal from a female in the front row, because like, what the hell? You got practice,
right?
Because God forbid, if you'd have broke your neck and ended your career, they wouldn't have felt sorry for you. Not in Columbus because you had on Michigan gear. If you'd have had original gear on, they'd have felt sorry for you.
And your target was what you were wearing.
Yeah. They'd been like, yeah, you put the M in medical staff because you need it. I put the M in marvelous work. Go blue. Fuck Ohio State.
And you had the cookie girl show up, and it was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, like they probably went to like the Miss Ohio pageant and just found this random. I mean, she was okay. She was out of 10. She was maybe like a 5 or a 6.
It's weird because I feel like I've seen her somewhere else before. Like when I saw her come out, and I was like, why does that woman look so familiar? Like we've seen her on the show before somewhere else. And it was like, damn.
Why from far away, she looked like Tori Wilson?
I thought it was almost at first, but then it was like, after she kept going, like she made her way down the ramp somewhere, I'm like, no, that's not Tori. But I'm like, why does she look like either someone that's been on Raw before in some other kind of thing, or she's just been on some other show before? And I just couldn't put my friggin' finger on it.
Well, she comes out with a sheet full of cookies.
Which looks square for some reason. I was like, what the fuck? Did she make fucking cookie brownies or something? What the fuck?
I'm like, how'd she get in Deborah's house and stole Deborah's cookies?
Ugh. At least she didn't hit him, fucking Eugene, with it like Deborah did to Austin.
Well, I don't know if they were Deborah's cookies. Coach was eating the shit out of them.
And a coach is just simple like that, though.
Eugene's cookie monster came out of him. He's like, I want cookies.
I still love how he goes to like grab the cookie. He's going like this, and I'm just like, he's trying to grab something else.
I want. And this man's like, reach your hands out like you want to grab titties, but go get the cookies. And only Vince would be say some shit like, make sure you grab the cookies, you idiot, not the tits.
Imagine if he put a fucking mic in his, like, an earpiece in there, and he's just like telling him, just go for it. Don't try to grab that. No, don't do it, Eugene.
He grabs the cookies, like, and then fucking coach ambushed him from behind. Well, at one point now, I don't know what was we saw 2 atomic drops, drop kick, airplane spin. Oh, then here comes Garrison Cade. I don't know what Garrison Cade had to do with Coach at the time. I think Garrison Cade was just like one of the. He kind of reminded me of Sean Stasiak at the time, just a little jobber getting attacked or running into shit.
Just trying to be the good guy for Coach.
He holds Eugene. Well, he takes Eugene's little white stuffed bear he got from that girl, and he ripped it in half.
Yep.
Then Eugene grabbed him on the apron, but then he held Eugene back. Coach went to like hit him with a forearm, and Eugene moved. He knocked Cade off the apron.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach get hit with a rock bottom and a people's elbow, and Eugene still undefeated in his career, and Coach takes his first pay-per-view loss.
Yes.
And maybe
very entertaining, though.
Maybe it was the bad luck of wearing Michigan gear at Ohio State. And the worst stunner I've ever seen Eugene give to anybody.
I know. They both were so rough to watch. I was like, damn it. I was like, I get he hasn't probably done the move yet and all that other stuff, but it's like, just watching him do it, I was like, oh, he still needs to work on it.
Yeah. And then Regal coming out. Remember, I thought Regal was banned from the building. He came out with Eugene, but then went back to Gorilla. And then he came back out again and celebrated with Eugene.
Yeah, no, he was just banned from the match, being involved in the match, and that was it.
Yep. But I thought it was entertaining.
Same. It was fun. His coach played his part, and that was what he needed to do. He just needed to be a goof and let Eugene do his thing, and that was really it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I feel like we don't give Coach enough props, but you know what? I'll give him his props. Guy's fucking hysterical when he's, just being wacky.
Yeah. But it was entertaining to me. All right. Now we go to the co-main event. We get Chris Benoit versus Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Kane, it was nice to see something different finally. Like Triple H was no longer in the title picture. I thought it was going to go like that from here on out, but no, it was just one pay-per-view without Triple H in the title picture until the next Raw pay-per-view. And I'm like,
Jesus. Always.
But Kane won a battle royal to earn this title shot, and he eliminated Triple H to win the battle royal. But
wow.
I knew it was going to be like, it wasn't the most hype feud, but it was finally something different. Like, we got a rabid Wolverine and a big red monster going at it. The biggest issue was Benoit could not lock in the crippler crossface on Kane.
Actually, not a bad way to tell the story either, honestly.
Not a bad way to tell the story, but the fucking he never finished the story, unlike Cody Rhodes, because he could not still lock Kane in the crossface.
Which we'll talk about after the match, because boy, that part was something.
Well, it started off with a chop fest. Benoit was chopping away, chopping meat. Kane's targeting the ribs, targeting the shoulder. Sidewalk slammed him, runs Benoit into the ring. Bro, that poke, the way that post sounded when Benoit ran his head to it. It sounded like a damn cowbell.
Yeah. Bing.
Like, I laughed. Like, I watched that like 5 times over. I laughed hysterically like that. Kane choke slams Benoit for a near fall. Well, Kane attempts a flying clothesline. Benoit goes to counter it into a crossface, but he cannot lock it in.
Mm-hmm.
But he was able to lock in a sharpshooter. Like
Yeah.
that don't seem right. You can lock him in a sharpshooter, but you can't lock him in the crossface.
Which at that point is weird because again, wouldn't you figure that with Kane, he'd have more power in his legs, so it wouldn't be easy to lock him in a sharpshooter. But then it's like, even with the crossface, like Kane is just super strong. So like, why the fuck would you even bother trying to put him in a submission whatsoever?
And
You have to like wear him down
dive.
more than just being like, I'm just gonna grab his arm and try to pull him down. I'm like, Benoit, where the hell is the Benoit that's like, I'll work an arm, I'll just work his arm a little bit. Here we go, like drive it into the post, do something so you could put him in the crossface.
I would have went with the pinfall after that diving headbutt, but he never pinned the guy. He tried to dock the crossface again. I'm like, just fucking pin him.
Yep.
You're not gonna make Kane tap out. I don't think Kane ever tapped out in his career that I can remember, unless he was Isaac Yankem and tapped out.
I think he tapped out to Kurt Angle one time.
Oh yeah, Kurt Angle made him tap. See, you're not Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle made Hogan tap out. He made Brock tap out. He made John Cena tap out.
Nuts. Cena never taps for anything.
He made 3 men I've never thought would ever tap out or has ever tapped out in their careers, but they did with ball-headed, ruthless aggression. Kurt Angle.
He tapped out Shawn Michaels, for Christ's sake.
But Shawn has tapped out before.
Yeah, Shawn, but you wouldn't think Kurt would be the one to do it.
Yeah, well, Brock got Suplex City. Kurt Angle got Tap Out City, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he's a true definition of nap, tap, snap.
So basically, I'm going to put this in geographic perspective. Every superstar he tapped out, Kurt Angle can be the United States of America. Every legend he made tap out could be a state. But Kane could be fucking Puerto Rico. Because Puerto Rico didn't become a state. Kane never tapped out to anybody. Yep. Well, tapped out. Never tapped out to Benoit. Tapped out to Kurt.
It's crazy.
Or he could be fucking Hawaii, fucking I care, or Alaska.
It's got to be the one in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Well, and then he tried again, and it just was not going. And I'm just like, enough already. Well, he put the worst fucking roll up I ever saw. It's like, I was like, is Kane choking him and he pinned him? No, he just rolled him up. But the ref, that 3 count was so fucking off. I thought Kane had a shoulder up at the 3 count, but they ruled it a 3 count, and Benoit retained the title.
I said the same thing because when they re-showed the replay from a different angle, you could clearly see Kane's shoulder was off the ground and then like off the mat, and then he freaking put it down. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of shitty.
And then he goes backstage and he runs into Todd Grisham. Like, he goes, congratulations on your match.
God, I hated this part so much.
He was stuttering. He's like, well, let's look at let's check out. Let's talk strategy. Let's I noticed that you were going for the crossface. You kept fucking stuttering. He's like, I noticed you were going for the crossface, but as you see here, Kane was able to counter it. And I was waiting for Benoit to fucking headbutt this dumb ass.
Oh my God, I wish he would have. I fucking hated this part after this match because all he kept doing was basically telling us like, hey, I guess you guys already saw the match, but here's some stuff that you guys like. Did you see it? Did you see it? I'm like, Todd, shut the fuck up. Okay. I watched the fucking match. I get it. He tried to make him tap out multiple times. He tried to put him in submissions multiple times. It's kind of mostly what he spent during the match doing is trying to put Kane in submissions. And it's like, I fucking saw the match. Shut up. I don't need you to try to break down something that I just saw.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That is the pure definition of Todd Grisham right there. He fucking sucks.
That was literally.
He also has some fucking odd hatred for TNA.
That was everyone in the building listening to Todd Grisham try to talk strategy.
Oh, God.
Recapping his match, where me at home.
Shut up, you big fucking asshole.
Worst part was, just think about it. Later on, after like down the road, they put him as a fucking commentator. So you had to sit there and listen to him do commentary. Holy fuck, it was bad.
Oh God, that was worse case scenario, having Todd Grisham on commentary with Jim Ross on SmackDown.
You need to think he was on ESPN too after, like, what the fuck?
I don't know. But and then Benoit, it's like Benoit didn't even want to talk to this motherfucker. He was like, I know
Didn't
what I
want to
fucking
hear it.
did. It's
He's
like,
literally just like thinking in his head as Todd's going off, like, dude, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, did you try to do this? Kane got out of it. Benoit's just like literally thinking in his head, like, I know, Todd, I was the one who was trying to do it.
the way Todd Grisham was talking, it was reminding me of Sid Vicious. Stop it, go.
Oh my god.
Oh god. All
Richard
right.
Benoit just walked away and he did the whole, like, when he freaking sits out there yelling Goldberg, he's just yelling Benoit.
All right, then we get to our main event. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in a Hell in a Cell match. Brian, Chef said I forgot how horrible that dude was. Thank you.
So bad, bro.
This was that rivalry that don't need a championship, especially where this was going. I mean, it all started, they both had an opportunity to try and take the title from Benoit, but Benoit made both of them made Triple H tap out at WrestleMania. He made Shawn Michaels tap out at Backlash. One night on Raw, Shawn was able to get a singles title shot. Triple H cost him the world championship and told him, you were this close. Next week, I don't remember how Shawn got suspended from Raw because he pulled a fucking Matt Hardy on Edge, where every time Triple H would walk, Shawn would just beat his ass, attack him, and ambush him everywhere he turned. So Bischoff suspended Shawn Michaels. That's when they had the Battle Royal to determine the number one contender to face Benoit Bad Blood. It came down to Kane and Triple H. Shawn got involved, super kick Triple H, threw him over the top rope instead of Kane doing it, and they waved it off saying Kane won. And Shawn runs into Bear Kane and just a smiling, mocked him, you're this close. Week after week, like, I liked when he jumped him on top of that car in the parking lot and beat the shit out of him.
That was awesome.
I don't know, but what was more funny, when he jumped on top of him over Bischoff. When they were in Bischoff's office and Bischoff got rode into the fucking
shit, yeah.
And that's when it led him to announce, we're having Hell in a Cell. Which we knew it was coming. We were just waiting for the announcement, but that what a way to get Bischoff to do it when Bischoff got in the middle of that shit. That was funny. Bischoff, like, feet went up in the air like if Shaq fell. And they were fighting in the fucking ring, and security and every superstar in the locker room was holding them back, and nobody can do it. And then Bischoff had to come like if William Regal was announcing War Games. Bischoff announcing Hell in a Cell was probably one of the best ways to announce the match.
Just Hell in a Cell. It just like screams it.
Well, we know how good Triple H and Shawn can work together. So then it culminates in a Hell in a Cell. Well,
think about it. Like this. Just think about how much further back this whole build goes to. Also, just like the like teased DX reunion that ends in the pedigree to their SummerSlam match. Like, it's so much more than just that little bit that they gave us in the package for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like how JR stated it. He said, it's come a long way. Two men who started in DX and will end it in hell. Perfect
way to sum it up right there.
I even liked how they had the cell halfway down, let them both come out, and then they just had that stare down while it came down to the floor. And then when the bell rang, they just still had a stare down for like a couple more minutes.
I like that, though. It's like they gave it time to soak in a little bit. Like, we're going to go to war right now.
They did so much in that match where it was one of them Hell in a Cell match. Like, that's when they started trying to get strict, where they didn't, when you have a Hell in a Cell, you stay inside, you don't get out, you don't climb to the top, none of that shit. No, they did so much. They made it just as brutal without having to get out and throw people off the roof. Triple H got busted open first when he got he slammed him into the cage. Like after he did a fast press, he like slammed him to the cage wall. Then he got busted open. Michael got busted open with some steel steps, which that was you had tables, you had ladders, you had chairs, you had steel steps, you had the cell. I'm actually shocked the sledgehammer never got involved in this match.
Right? I was surprised myself. Like, this matchup is just pure fucking annihilation from both men. And Hunter doesn't use his freaking like absolute trademark weapon. Like, what is going on there?
I'm shocked Sean didn't have a broken back when he got backdropped on the floor after falling off the steps. Like the way his back made that
there was impact. That one portion. There was that one little portion of the match where just the entire focus is Hunter on Sean's back, and it was like, I the one thing I loved also was I look at that like, and I'm like, Sean's in the attire that he fucked his back up in, and I'm like, that's fucking kind of wild that he's targeting his back in the same exact gear that he fucked his back up. I'm like, that's amazing freaking like symbolism there.
Yeah. And I like the only thing I did not like about this match, like they were so beat up and so brutal and so exhausted. It's like when they were like holding each other together from the ground and picking up. And it took Triple H like 10 minutes to fucking hit a pedigree.
Yeah.
Because he was so weak. And then, which they made a mistake. They said it took him 2 pedigrees to win, but it was actually 3. That was the third one he hit. But even before all that, I like when Sean put him on a table, pulled the ladder off, and did an elbow drop. And even he didn't go all the way to the top because he couldn't. Because when he was climbing up, his hand was touching the ceiling.
Yeah, he was touching the cell roof.
That was the OG Hell in a Cell. They had the cell that upgraded where it was a lot taller and higher. Oh, he could have got to the very top rim,
right?
Jeff Hardy's style, and did a flying elbow.
Oh my god, insane! Actually,
I don't know. It looked like a Terry Funk elbow, but it was cool to see.
Yes,
and Sean didn't bleed as much as I thought. I thought it was going to be like Ric Flair bleeding, full crimson mask. Triple H, I think, was the bloodiest out of the two.
It's because basically Triple H bled twice in that match. Sean only bled once. It's like the only time Sean taking those steel steps, the first step, like steel step shot, and then he comes up and it's just pouring. And I'm like, and I love how when they change the camera angle and they're looking at him, and it's that same image from the "Do Not Try This at Home" thing. And I'm like, oh, there it is. That's awesome. And then he took the second one where he just goes fucking obliterated. And I'm like, damn, Sean. Like, he was pouring after that. But like, Hunter starts off just like with a little bit. And then when he gets later on in the match, he is pouring as well. But Sean's like dried up by then. And I'm like, damn.
And Sean had that match won when he hit that super kick. That was so loud. And JR's reaction said it all. But it was one of them moments. And he hit it. He collapsed. He don't get up for like a couple minutes, and it killed some time.
Yeah,
it seemed like it took forever to get to the finish because they were like holding each other up like zombies, picking each other up. Triple H was able to hit 2 more pedigrees before he finally covered them to get the win. Still to this day, it was the longest Hell in a Cell match of all time. It went 47 minutes. 36 seconds.
How crazy is that? The 6-man Hell in a Cell is not even as long as this one. That says a lot.
This was definitely match of the night, but I felt like of how they delivered, how the feud built, this should have been the end of that rivalry. They should have never wrestled each other again after that night because they
never needed to after that.
But no, thank you to fucking Taboo Tuesday, folks. You want to know?
I will say this: I think this might be one of, or possibly the best Hell in a Cell match to me. Like, this is how you do Hell in a Cell. You don't need the freaking over the top theatrics of climbing to the top and throwing somebody off through the thing. You just have two guys who have this unbridled fucking hatred for each other. Just get inside the fucking cage and annihilate each other. And like I said, I honestly believe, like, I will say it right now, I hope Drew McIntyre and CM Punk do this exact kind of like Hell in a Cell. I want them to do this. Give them 45 minutes and let them just annihilate each other in there, to where if Drew wins the fucking thing with one Claymore and it's just that sudden moment where they're just like half dead, pulling each other up, and Drew just pops up and hits a Claymore, and that's how that match ends. You can't tell me that freaking finish wouldn't be fucking batshit nuts. I want them to be like, Hunter and freaking Sean did that. We should do the same.
I've said for years that the 6-man Hell in a Cell, well, that was my most favorite Hell in a Cell match ever. It was a favorite for a lot of people. If you're talking one-on-one, this could be it, or maybe the very first one with Shawn and Undertaker. That one was fucking so good too. So it's hard.
Even Cactus and Hunter is a fucking fantastic like Hell in a Cell match in its own right.
Oh,
it's awesome. But again, it's one of those, like, you didn't need the super over the top climbing to the top of the cell stuff. It's just, this is one of those ones where it's like, we don't need to do all that. We just need to grab weapons, beat the ever living fuck out of each other, and put on a freaking classic. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. They did a lot that you can do that you didn't need to go on the top and kill somebody or whatnot.
No.
But like a lot of like today, a lot of the Hell in a Cell matches today were not as good, but like a majority of them were so good in this era. Like this was one of them. I thought so I put it down to where, like I said, my most favorite was the 6-man from Armageddon.
The Armageddon one is fucking incredible.
The most brutal one I ever saw was Brock and Undertaker at No Mercy 2002.
Taker bleeds buckets in that. Damn.
It was the bloodiest one I've ever saw. One of the most underrated ones I saw, maybe Triple H and Jericho at Judgment Day 2002. That one was very underrated.
It is underrated. You're right.
But the best one ever, it's either this one or it has to be the first one with Shawn and Undertaker. It's hard. They were both so fucking good. It's the first one, you got to see what it can do. They went to the top, Shawn fell over. We got the debut of Kane. And it did not need a championship involved. That's why that first one was so good. And then you had this one where you just got, think of Ohio compared to Ohio State, Michigan, and all that. Like, it is a fierce rivalry. It was one of the biggest rivalries ever. But what took it away was this was not the last time ever they fought.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, they had more matches. Fortunately. But I did a top 5 of their greatest matches ever. I had their Hell in a Cell at number 2.
It's good. What'd you put at number 1 then?
Number 1, I put their unsanctioned match at SummerSlam.
Oh, their SummerSlam match. Nice.
So, like, from 1 to 5, I put number 1, I put SummerSlam 02 unsanctioned. 2, I put this match, Hell in a Cell from Bad Blood. 3, I put the 3 Stages of Hell from Armageddon 2002.
Okay, fair.
It was because it was all stipulations. Stage 1 was a cage match. No, Stage 1 was a street fight. Stage 2 was a cage match. Stage 3 was a ladder match.
Yep.
Which I finally figured out. It's called 3 Stages of Hell if all 3 matches had stipulations. 2 out of 3 falls is just three regular matches.
I mean, that's technically what 3 Stages of Hell should always be. It should be everything is stipulations, not like they did like more recently where they do like 3 Stages of Hell. They don't call it 3 Stages of Hell. They do it and it's like, oh, the first match is clearly just going to be a one-on-one match. It's like, no, it's called 3 Stages of Hell, a singles match, one-on-one with basically the everyday freaking wrestling rules is not hell. It's just a fucking regular match.
I'm gonna put that on the list. You know what? In a few more months, you and I we're gonna do Armageddon 2002. I'm
with it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm for it.
All right. So I had that number 3. Number 4, no one's going to remember this night, but I did. One night they had a match on Raw. It was December 29th, 2003. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship on an episode of Raw. They were in Shawn's hometown. We thought Shawn got the win and won the title, but unfortunately, Eric Bischoff at the end said Triple H is still the World Heavyweight Champion because it was a double pin and nobody noticed it except Bischoff.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's what led to the match I put at number 5, their last man standing match at the Royal Rumble.
Ah, there you go.
That unfortunately ended in a draw.
Jeez. Last man standing match ended in a draw.
So 2004, they had 2 fucking banger matches. Now, I never watched Taboo Tuesday 04. Some people said that match was also good, but I never watched it. Because, like I said, that pay-per-view fucked up one guy's career. I wouldn't say fuck up his career. He should have had a world title reign that year, but they waited 2 years later. They were trying, I'm talking about Edge. They wanted to make Edge this big star, and they wanted to have him take the title from Triple H that night before they turned it into an interactive pay-per-view. And they were trying to make him a babyface, but people were getting fed up with Edge. And when they were allowed to vote, they voted Shawn Michaels over Edge, but it was a tight race. Benoit didn't have a chance, and it led to a point they made Edge a heel, but I was pissed about that. I said, Edge should have fucking won the voting poll. We didn't. It's like, what was the point of having a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood the way it went? They're going to have another fucking match. Like, that should have been the end of that rivalry.
Yeah, it's literally been described as the match that ends feuds. It doesn't mean freaking basically say you ended the feud and then continue the feud.
And then they still had like a couple more matches. Like, I remember they had a boot camp match on Tribute to the Troops in 05.
Jeez. So it's like they just couldn't move away from it because they know Shawn and Hunter put on amazing matches together. So they're just like, well, we'll tell you that it's over, but we'll just secretly make sure it's not over.
I remembered that match. I remember watching it. It was on free television, so they rushed the match.
Of course.
No blood, by the way. It was a boot camp match. No blood. Shawn won. Their last ever one-on-one match was on an episode of Raw in 06 that ended in a draw.
Of course it would.
But now, if you want to, according to this website I saw, Shawn and Triple H have shared the ring over 36 times, but not just one-on-one, like all sorts of matches. So when I mean all sorts of matches, the very last time Triple H and Shawn shared the ring as opponents was a Royal Rumble match.
Wow.
Like, really? You're going to throw 28 other dipshits in this rivalry? Like, that don't count.
That doesn't count.
Hell, I don't.
It's got to be them one-on-one that makes the most sense.
And no disrespect, I'm not even gonna not even gonna count the greatest Elimination Chamber match of all time.
Yeah, it's true.
No disrespect to that match, but I'm talking about just them one-on-one, no triple threat, so no Chris Benoit involved, no John Cena involved, no fatal four-way, no tag matches, no six-pack challenges or whatever, no Royal Rumble match or Battle Royals.
Yeah, which means no technicalities, WWE, of being like, well, they were in the ring together. Yeah, but you had somebody else in there. See,
Temple, right. The era of Raw started becoming a main eventer. And a heel, which I loved when he was a heel from that 04 to the Rated R Superstar. I fucking loved Edge so much as a heel.
Didn't he start feuding with Shawn too himself after this?
Yeah, because he got mad that they voted him over Shawn, and he cost Shawn the world title, and then that led them to, when they got to New Year's Revolution, Shawn refereed that chamber match, and Edge was the first to get eliminated because of Shawn. Shawn super kicked him. Yep. And I think it was Benoit or Jericho that pinned him, and then they had that match at the Rumble. Or I think Edge beat Shawn. I covered that Rumble. I think Edge beat Shawn Michaels.
Yes, I think he did too, if I remember correctly.
And then it led to Edge going to Money in the Bank, and being Mr. Money in the Bank, and Trail goes forward. We all know what happened after that. Became champion. And fucking great feud with John Cena.
Shouts to the Rated R Superstar.
And then led to this fucking rivalry with Matt Hardy over
Oh,
Lita.
for the love of God.
Oh, man.
What a fucking unbelievably ridiculous feud.
But overall, I thought Bad Blood was a good pay-per-view. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. But I thought what was shit was the arena was half full. Like, that arena could fill up to 19,000. There was only 9,000 people. And if they're going to compare it to an AEW show, they had half the arena curtained off.
Hey, at that point, I don't give a shit. The crowd sounded great.
Yeah. It wasn't their worst pay-per-view of the year. That was Unforgiven 04 or Taboo Tuesday.
All I know is they brought it. The crowd brought it. I gave the show 4. I thought I enjoyed it so much. Like, again, you did even the weakest stuff, if you want to call it weak, on the show was really good.
And overall, I mean, the Hell in a Cell was the match of the night. I gave the 4-way for the women's title the worst match, but everybody's given Eugene and Coach the worst match.
See, this was so tough. I feel like the women's match by default has to be the worst match because it's like at least Eugene and Coach was entertaining for what you got.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I can't really, like I said, I can't full on dump on the women's match because I felt like the 4 of them actually did a really solid job for that like moment of having that match.
Overall, it was a good show. Well, that will wrap up tonight. I'll get a little I'm gonna take a little break. Edge had a cat. Yeah. When Edge had that cat, he was badass. Like right when he came back from that being out for over a year.
Yes.
But overall, this was fun. Now, no, it'll probably be 2 weeks before I do another nostalgia because next week it'll be the end of the month and we'll be getting into October and we're going to have our Bad Blood prediction show for the upcoming PLE. So next live stream will be our Bad Blood 2024 prediction show. And then after that, I got another slate of nostalgias I plan on doing. There's a No Mercy I want to do. There's a Halloween Havoc I want to do. We're gonna try and get some more on the list, and then I'm gonna start doing series Survivors again. I'm gonna do a few Survivor series when that time of year comes. So, but you can guarantee when December comes, Justin will be back on. We're gonna talk Armageddon 2002 in December.
Like I said, I feel like I don't come on here enough. So,
you came on the majority of the summer. That was a fun time. But
that was me coming back, man. I told you the Redeemer had to redeem himself.
Mm-hmm. Now you're everywhere. You're on
absolutely.
You're on Outrage Control. You're on Circle of Debate.
I am the self-proclaimed Joe Hendry of podcasting. You need a guest, and I shall appear.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I had to.
Damn straight.
I had to.
Had to be done. Sorry, everybody. Had to be done.
Well, I know we lost Temple in the comments, but it's gonna. It's about everybody's gonna be jumping out because we're closing out. We're closing shop for the night. We'll be back on now next week. I forgot. It's gonna be a Thursday, so I feel like it's gonna be 10 days, 11 days before our next live stream because we've been doing it on Tuesdays quite often, but next week's live stream will be on a Thursday because we don't want to do it the Tuesday because that's when NXT premieres on the CW. We don't want to compete with that. We want to watch. I want to watch NXT in Chicago,
which you should come on the watch along on Tuesdays when that happens.
Okay, I might pop in and say hello. Wednesday, we got our fair. I'm going to the fair to go eat unhealthy food. So I'm going to get my fried Twinkies and my fried Oreos, my funnel cakes.
He's going to be loaded.
I'm going to get my unhealthy food. Not ride any rides. I just go for the food.
Hey,
I got kick ass.
To each his own, bro.
Yeah. But I'm going to still watch. Unfortunately, I'm going to watch the 5-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite when I get back home. So I'm going to watch that. So nothing going on Thursday besides Thursday Night Football, which I can always watch on mute, like I'm watching the Chiefs and the Falcons right now. That'll be our that'll be our Bad Blood prediction show on October 3rd. Me, Dylan, Jordan, and Chef.
Let's go, baby.
Chef is finally coming on World Elite. Finally.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, well, here, well, before we go, I think your biggest fan just left this for you. Justin, what's up,
Jesus.
Cheeks? I told you that I would tune in this evening. You had my legs shaking from the full body massage you gave me on Wednesday. I can't wait to feel your strong hands. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know who the hell that is, but that's hysterical.
Officer Christopher Jackson. Okay. Well, he knows where he can find you on social media, but let the listeners who don't know where they can find you on social media and the End Time Wrestling Podcast, all that other good shit.
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, In Time Wrestling Podcast, all one word, all lowercase. Just in Time 211 on X. In Time Wrestling Podcast, it's debatable. I don't know if it's coming back yet, like anymore. Like it's really just without me having my co-host with me, it's kind of just iffy with the show coming back. So really, I'm just gonna end up focusing on doing Circle of Debate and Game Breaker Sports for the most part of it, but you never know. Maybe I'll throw in some solo episodes by myself once in a while. You never know. Just keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Well, this was fun as always. You know, this definitely ain't the last time you'll be coming on near the future with live streams, more nostalgia.
Yes.
You might even come on another nostalgia before Armageddon 02. So we'll figure something out.
Let's go.
But hey, this was great. Thank you again, as always. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Bad Blood Prediction Show. Thank you, guys. Take it easy.
Peace.